Storm update. It is the 1st of February 2014. Animation loop to show how the weather's developed over the last 24 hours or so. Deepening area of low pressure. See the big hook developing here, and then it's spiralling in towards the western side of Scotland. And this is the entire sequence here, which shows the low spinning across the Atlantic as a shallow feature to begin with, and then really gets going from about here onwards, and it hooks in, deepens, and trundles in towards. This is the current situation. The final sequence in that loop is pretty much the current situation as it stands right now. So winds are just in the process of picking up as this low spirals in towards the UK. Having initially picked up on the on the weather front that went through earlier, which we'll see in a minute, there were some quite strong and blustery winds in places. Because the first thing that happened as the low developed, this weather front here comes in and crosses the UK like this. There were some fairly lively winds on that. Things have calmed down for a while afterwards, and now all these showers are piling in as the winds pick up once again. So basically this is an update, still on course for this weekend. Vicious low pressure system. All these showers packing in here, coming round the southern side of it. They're going to be very squally showers, and there's some cold air mixed in with that as well. Possibly, there's even talk of temporarily, the showers could be wintry for a while as that colder air digs in. And in addition to this, of course, high spring tides are coming up, and a very deep area of low pressure like the one that's developed out here is going to generate some very large waves and a very large swell. There it is winding up here, and then it moves east like so. Now there's talk of yet another storm in a few days' time, somewhere towards the middle of next week. There's talk of another one, or could potentially be even worse than this one is going to be, because it may take a more southerly track. But I'll keep you updated on that one. And a fairly unprecedented situation going on over here in the UK, because events like this very deep area of low pressure developing just to the west of the UK is quite an event in itself in your normal typical average winter. But as far as the UK is concerned, this has been happening multiple times throughout the winter. We had a very stormy period over Christmas with phenomenal, really deep areas of low pressure developing. One of them got down, I think one of them got down below 930 millibars, which is very deep. And they keep on coming because of all the really frigid cold air across Canada and parts of the United States. It feeds out across the Atlantic on a fast jet stream, which is coming across the Atlantic, and meeting up with the much warmer air to the south, and it's just fueling up these depressions. Hardly a surprise, really, when you see the temperature map of what it's been looking like, northeast United States and eastern parts of Canada lately, and the sort of temperatures they've been experiencing. And then having that air coming out over what is normally, the much warmer oceans of the Atlantic, riding the jet stream. And these extremely deep depressions are getting fueled because of this. So they're buried in snow and ice on the other side of the Atlantic. For the UK, get the boats out. Something equivalent to a national emergency has now been declared for places like the Somerset Levels, which is the county to the east of where I live. And Somerset Levels is in serious trouble because of massive flooding there. And it's kind of an area which is prone to flooding anyway, but the sheer amount of rain that we've had this winter, these unrelenting depressions, there have been no prolonged periods of dry weather to help things dry out a bit, so the grounds remain saturated now for months, and the flooding situation just keeps getting worse. And with the weather coming up over the next few days, I don't see the flooding situation easing at all. And I'll have more updates later.